A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David, and we have had a dry day despite the forecast that we were going to get a bit of a dribble this afternoon, but it's very, very pleasant. 21 degrees and no wind. Well, it's 3 knots from the northeast. 1021.8 steady on the bar and 98% cloud cover. It looks as if it was brewing up for something, but it never did arrive, and I know that the lack of wind is affecting some of the boats out there. Before I start, and I know that conditions are not good for hearing us at the start, so I'm going to just give a bit of news before we attempt to bring in the boats. The west coast, for those that are interested in weather in New Zealand, is totally flooded. There is a state of emergency from Westport all the way down. State Highway 1 from Fox to Haast is all closed. People are getting around in boats. They are not too badly off because they are used to having a lot of rain down that part of the world. It is on the west after all. But this has been a little bit of a nuisance for them, but being handled. For those rugby fans, we watched the New Zealand-Ireland match in Ireland, it was, and New Zealand beat Ireland, who are leading in the world's rugby ranks at the moment. 23-13. It was a lot of good active rugby. Unfortunately, it was wet, so the ball was heavy and slippery, and that led to quite a few knock-ons, which David thinks, being American, he doesn't think that this knock-on rule is a very sensible one when the weather is wet. But anyway, it was 23-13 and a pretty good match for New Zealand. Some exciting news from America, because the FBI have foiled a very well-planned assassination attempt on Trump, managed by Iran, and they have the names and places, and it wasn't just Trump that they were targeting, and there was also an Iranian over there, but all documented and leading to quite a bit of drama between Iran and America. I'm sure Mr. Trump will be pleased to get into power and have his revenge. Right, so that's the news, and I've got news from, I wrote it down, where did I put it? Stand by. We've got a report from Minerva, thank you very much Marianne and Richard, on big fish, and it has calmed down at Minerva, so I bet there was a bit of movement in dinghies today. At 4 p.m. it was 12 to 15 knots from just north of east, 80 degrees. And it's been a sunny day with now increased cumulus, about 50%, and a bit of a grey area heading their way slowly from the east. We'll find out what that's all about when David takes the microphone shortly. Okay, well, there's quite a few boats on the go at the moment. Just had the report in from Freitas. They're 198 miles to Opua with the fridge and freezer, I presume, full of mahi-mahi, so that was a good deal for them today. Their 5 o'clock position was 31 degrees 56 south, 174 degrees 30 east, 5 knots on a course of 180 true, and they've got 12 knots of northeast, so that's pretty good there. It's a little bit different from a bit further south, which I'll tell you in a minute. 90% cloud cover. They motored for about 5 hours, but they're now sailing again with that 12 knots of nor'easter. Great direction. 1034. So they're doing really well, and will be cheerfully in come another 198 miles. But just south of them, Lady Annabelle, and this was their 4 o'clock position. They had the motor, well, they were motor sailing since 4 o'clock this morning. They are at 32 degrees 48 and 174.33 on a course of 188 true, 6 knots. Their ETA would be late Sunday afternoon, and I didn't write down their, oh yes I did, calm conditions now, as you could expect from the motor sailing, but it's 10 knots of northeast, so a bit of help. less than a half a metre easterly swell and 15% cloud cover. So it's a lot nicer up there than it is here. Okay, Whitehawk, and this is from the AIS, and hopefully you guys are listening, because David's had a look at your position to see whether you're going to make Margero with your fuel. Sunday, tomorrow, you should get, and did I write down your position? I gave it to David.
Written there.
Written there? No, it's not written there. It's on
there.
yours. But they are on the AIS at 7 degrees 37 and 169. Can't read David's writing, but never mind. It's about 169 degrees.
41.
41, he reckons. Boy, you should try and read his writing. Anyway, tomorrow, Whitehawk, lunchtime, all these are lunchtime, you will get thunderstorms, according to David, northeast 5 to 12, so that's not going to be all that wonderful.
It could be gusty too.
And gusty. Monday, partly cloudy, east 6 to 12. But on Tuesday, again partly cloudy, but east 13 to 18. So that's pretty good news, 13 to 18. So hopefully you're listening tonight. Okay, let's see what propagation is doing tonight. Freya, Gulf Harbour.
This is Freya. How copy?
Oh, I've got actually good copy tonight, Susan. I'm just turning down my radio to pick you up on the other antenna. Go ahead, over.
All right, Patricia. Let's see. Position is 2239 south, 17432 east. Course over ground 188 true. Speed 6 knots. Wind direction 125. I'm sorry, 125 true. Speed 13 knots. With 1.5 meters from the southeast. About 5-second period. Quick copy. 40% cloud cover. Barometer reading is 1020. Over.
Yeah, nice copy from you tonight, Susan. Freya is at 2239 south, 17432 east on a course of 188 true, 6 knots, 125 true wind speed, about, we'll call that southeast, 15. Nice sailing conditions. 1.5 to 2 meters southeast swell, but it's quite short, 5 seconds. 40% cloud cover, and 1020 is all well on board. And hi to Todd. Over.
Yes, thank you. All go on board for a great day of sailing. Still going well now, and yeah, we're good.
Oh, good. So yeah, that is nice sailing conditions. Okay, we'll clear with Freya and see if we can find Rubicon.
Go Harbour, go Harbour. Rubicon, how copy?
Very good copy. And just before we start on your position, I have got trouble with getting through to you, as you know, on email, but I also have got trouble getting through to a friend in Hervey Bay, who I have been on email with for probably 25 years. There is something strange going on with some of the servers around the world. So what I'm going to do, I have sent you a sail mail, and I will also send you to your sail mail a message on my Gmail account. So it will be interesting to see if you get both or just the Gmail. Anyway, very complicated, but go ahead with your position. Over.
Okay, Roger, Roger. Thank you very much for that. Rubicon is at 2500 south, 17900 north. Sounding at 500 south. Course is 205 true. And you're about south on that all day long. Equally slow also from about 2 meters. We went south of it yesterday and
Yeah, your signal is still quite scratchy. I don't know what you've done to it. I need the only thing I missed was the wind speed, and I presume it's southeast, but go ahead with the wind. Over. Oh, that's quite sporty, isn't it? 25 degrees even, 00 south and 17900 west. So soon to cross the date line. 5.8 speed at 205 true. Easterly swell 2 meters, 60% cloud cover, and 20%, 20 knots from the southeast. Is all well on board? Over.
Yeah, roger that. We've got a very comfortable sail going, and it's not on the road.
Oh, good. Yeah, it sounds like everyone's quite satisfied with things at the moment.
Strong high.
Strong high, says David. All right. That's what's causing all this joyful reporting. Okay, we'll clear with Rubicon and see if I can find Sumor 2, Gulf Harbour. Yeah, don't seem to be able to get them on the radio. I didn't write down, but their AIS says 1941 and 17628, doing about 8.2 on a course of 206. And just ahead of them is Anahata. Don't know whether, David, you're out there listening or not. Well, let's go to First Light, Gulf Harbour. Oh, good copy again, Don. Go ahead.
Roger that. Okay, we're currently at a position of 2210 south and 17805 east. Speed over ground is 7.2 knots, sailing nicely. Course over ground is 190. The wind speed out here is currently 20 knots, picked up today, and direction is 90 degrees true. Swell will probably nudge over 2 meters, 130 degrees true. Cloud cover is 40%, and the barometric pressure is 106.
Okay, we have First Light. I noticed earlier on the AIS you were moving along rather nicely. 2210 south, 17805 east. 7.2 boat speed on a course of 190 true with that 20 knots of easterly. And I've got a 2 meter swell, and I'm going to put down east, but correct me if I'm wrong. 40% cloud cover and 1016, and is all well on board. Over.
All is well on board. We had a recent call about 11 o'clock this morning. There was some kind of trough that we went through, but otherwise a great day of sailing. We're making good progress.
Is it pretty bouncy?
Yeah, pretty good progress. David wants to know, is it still a bit bouncy? Over.
Fairly short period on the swell, so today is much faster than it was yesterday.
Yeah, okay, that answers his thoughts on the subject. So it is a bit shorter period than yesterday, so a bit bouncy. Okay, sounds all good though, especially the boat speed, so you'll be happy. So we'll clear with First Light and go to Shandon, Gulf Harbour. Nothing heard from David on Shandon, and I'm going to go to further west now. I've left you guys to the last, and Whitehawk, you may have got on late. Because I gave you some weather. I'm going to repeat that shortly in case you didn't get it for the next few days. Let's go to Narida, Gulf Harbour. Yeah, it's quite noisy from that side, but I think I can work you out. Go ahead, Jan. I managed that, I think. Let's go through it. 1954 south for Narida heading to Bundaberg. 16007 east. 249 true at 6 knots. Nice steady speed. Bit of a variable southeast east southeast 10 knots. Southeast 1 metre swell, which is down a bit. Good. And a broken 50% cloud cover. 1016. All seems to be going well. Jan, over. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't pick up much of that. I can get the report because I'm sort of anticipating things, but it's just not good enough to pick up your comments. So we'll clear with you. I suspect you'll be on in the morning, so hopefully you'll have a good, safe night. Clear with Narida and Falado, Gulf Harbour. Yeah, again, it's not very good from you either, Cameron, but go ahead. I'll see what I can do.
Okay, position is 22 degrees, 49 minutes south, 161 degrees, 27 minutes east, speed over the ground, 5.0 knots, course over the ground is due west, true wind direction is 105, true wind speed 12 knots, speed very calm, probably half a metre swell from the southeast, and the clouds are going about 5% covered.
Wow, if it was like that all the time, I'd drag David back into the ocean. 22 degrees, 49 south. And by the way, your signal really came up well. 161 degrees, 27 east. Steering west, 270 at 5 knots. The wind is about east-southeast, 105 true at 12 knots. Calm seas, about a half a metre swell, and only a 5% cloud cover. Boy, that sounds really, really pleasant for you and Jan. Over?
Yes, very pleasant. A little bit more wind would be nice, but we're all good here.
Yeah.
Never whistle for
Yeah,
wind.
never. David says never whistle for wind. All right, we'll clear with you. And oh, by the way, are you 4 on board or down to 2? Over.
Just Darren and myself on board this time. Over.
Okay, yeah, I meant to check that yesterday. Okay, we'll try for Shandon again. Nothing heard. I always worry about the single-handers, but maybe he's a bit busy. I'll have to have a look at... I don't think he's on AIS, but anyway, we'll try again after David has finished the weather. Is there anybody else before I pass the microphone? Okay, let's hear about that. And they did get the weather forecast, so that's good. I'll pass the microphone. That was Whitehawk.
Oh, good. All right, good evening again to our listeners out there. And, well, pretty similar synoptic map as yesterday. Well, we have a pretty active trough that runs from the Solomons. It runs east-southeast to just south of Tuvalu, then Wallis-Futuna on to Samoa, and it continues on to the Cooks, the Southern Cooks. There's another trough that runs from Rotuma to the more or less the northern part of Fiji, then down to the Lau group, where it makes contact with another trough, which then runs to the northeast, and that one runs through Tonga. It also affects Niue, and it goes on to the Southern Cooks. There's a lot of convective activity in these troughs. Yes, there's breaks here and there, but I tell you what, if you draw a line from Vanua-Levu to Wallis, and then draw a perpendicular line to the southeast, the huge areas around that line are just solid cloud. Some high, indicating thunderstorm activity. For the most part, though, medium height to lower heights on the clouds. I do see broken cloud over Minerva, and I think the report for Minerva was that. Large band, though, I see to the south. Yeah, but really very busy weather map. Tonga Met has put out a strong wind warning for Vavau, the Hapais, Tonga Tapu, and the Minervas. There's even a warning for new potatoes up to the north. So winds east to southeast, 15 to 20, and rising 25 knots at times. Seas about 2.5 meters, and well, it looks to pick up a bit on Monday. East southeast, 15 to 20, but rising 25 to 30 at times. And the seas pick up as well. It looks like 2 to 3 meters. Fiji Met, they're identifying the trough over the northwest of the group that I talked about, and probably more of the country tomorrow. Expect easterlies 15 to 20 and moderate to rough seas and poor visibility in areas of heavy rain and thunderstorms. And this is about the same on Monday. So what's going on in the rest of the ocean down toward New Zealand? Our strong high tomorrow around lunch is going to be centered about 35 south and 170 west. That's 35 south, 170 west. It's strong. Central pressure about 1030. And I have to laugh. Remember Bob McDavitt's little ditty, over 1030, the going gets dirty. So yes, isobars are compressed from 30 south north, and those boats that have reported in, everybody's been getting about 20 knots, and kind of bouncy seas. A quick look at, I picked a lat long again at 25 south and 176 east tomorrow at lunchtime. I see easterlies about 25 knots and seas about 2.5 meters. Now between 30 south and New Zealand, again expect lumpy and bouncy seas, and the reason for that mainly is I see two separate wave trains that seem to collide. So keep your pots and pans secure. Yeah, it's going to be a bit bouncy. And that's about it for me. So with that, I'll give it to the chief.
Okay, thank you for that. And we'll see what we get tomorrow. Yeah, I'm glad we have not got the weather that the South Island have got at the moment. So is there anybody? I'm still trying to find Shandon, Gulf Harbour. Oh, got you, David, but only just. So I'm hoping that I can copy you. Go ahead, over. Okay, I'm wondering if Barry might be on. I have got you at 25 degrees south. I didn't get the minutes. 17908 west on a course of 145, but that doesn't make sense. It might be 245 true coming from there. You'll have to correct me on the course. 8 knots though, you're doing well. and I did not copy the wind. I think you said 1-4 from the east, 40% cloud cover. I did get that. Can you just check the course and the wind speed, please? Over. Roger. Okay, I've got east 20, and is all well on board? Or is all well on board, David? Over. Okay, just stand by because I would like to be able to get a copy of that. Mackay, did you copy that? No, I didn't get. Is anyone able to tell me something's on the nose? But he says it's east 20, so it's certainly not the wind. It might be the swell. Could anybody give me a relay on what David on Shandon has just said?
I can try, Trish.
Oh, thanks, Barry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had Mike set wrong. David on Shannon, I copied, I'll read back what I copied, Trish. His position 2555 south, 17948 west. I got 48 west. Wind 20 knots from the east. Seas were east at 1 meter. Cloud was 40%. I did not get his bar. David, you want to come back with, is all well on board, first of all, and what is your course over ground, over?
Yeah, only this has got that 42 to 52. What I'm saying was that I had a counter-current most of the day,
counter-current.
right on the nose, down up to 1.8 knots.
Roger, got it. Yeah, Trish, he's 225 degrees true his course over ground, and all is well on board. And what he wanted to say is he had a counter current straight on the nose current of up to 1.8 knots all day, over.
Yeah, that's really annoying, 1.8 knots, but doing 8 knots, I presume that's over the ground now, so most of the day with the counter current. That will be interesting for those that are behind Shandon. And just to repeat, he is at 25 degrees 55 and almost at the date line. So yeah, interesting counter current there. So yeah, boy, we've been having reports particularly from Zumax, but they were around the equator when they were getting theirs, and yeah, very, very significant counter current, but it was quite a different reason. Okay, David, all copied. Thank you for that, and certainly with that boat speed you'll be quite happy to be down at 25, almost 26. Okay, we'll clear with you. And is there anybody else? Over. Oh, there's Tuaka. It's not strong, but it's clear enough. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Tuaka. We're at Wallace Island, and thanks to Barry, we have an improved radio transmission. Just wanted to do a radio check before we leave for power walk tomorrow. Over.
Okay, so it's certainly better, and I could read that you are leaving tomorrow for Tarawa, so we'll be able to follow you. What is your name, over?
Yeah, this is Ben and Daily Vessel Walk Out from
I missed that one, but I'm sure that I can go back to Barry and he will tell me that, yeah, sometimes names are a little bit difficult. Okay, oh well, I hope you guys have a good trip, and yeah, as you probably heard us talking about the conditions that Whitehawk, who are actually further north of you, they're at 7 degrees 24 now, and they're on their way up north, and 169 they are east, so but you've got a bit of catching up from them. All right then. Well, clear with Kuaka
Could we get Barry's,
and
weather?
Barry. We do need the report from Wallace, please. And if you could give me the two names on Kuaka. Over.
Yeah, Roger, Trish. That would be Ben and Sophie on Kauaka. Ben and Sophie. And Wallace was pretty much overcast all day with some rain. No squalls or anything like that. Just kind of a soft rain. The wind was 15 to 17 knots, kind of a little bit less than yesterday from the southeast. And now we've actually got some sun. We've got a sunset, and first sun we've had all day. Over.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Now, David got all that because your signal is the strongest on air. Thank you very much. All right.
Good radio.
Yes, it is a very good radio, says David. Okay, well, the only ones we didn't find were Sumor too, and hopefully the crew, 4 of those folk, are enjoying good speeds according to the AIS, so that's good. And I'll do one final call for anybody with anything. Rubicon, Matt and Elizabeth, back to you.
Yeah, just like to tell David, it's bouncy. We have our rollovers right now, so we're getting about 25 knots. Last night we had about 35. But all good, everything's good, and we have a rainbow. And have you heard from Sonella? From Sonella, okay?
Boy, your radio's, it's really got some distortion in it, but David did get that weather. Boy, you're getting some sporty conditions, that's for sure. But I missed something. It sounded like vanilla, but I don't know what that was. Try that one again.
Donella, Kristen and Donella.
Wow.
Oh, God, thank you, Donella. Good show, yes. I presume they're having a great meeting at Minerva, and presumably going to be eating crayfish, because I think Pagean and Bellina are doing quite well. Oh no, did you say I've missed? I thought Donella was going into Minerva. Over.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was just wondering if you had heard from him, okay?
No, they were not. He was not on the ham net this morning. But yeah, no, I wish he had come up. We're a little bit concerned, as you would imagine, with him. But he's got a couple of crew, and certainly Renata is pretty experienced. So no, I have not heard. And that was a bit clearer. I'm just wondering if it's just a bit of a problem with the microphone, because it just has got this distortion in it, which makes it quite hard to read. Anyway, if I do hear something, I will let you know. Okay, that's about it from us, and we will talk to you all again tomorrow. If anyone wants the frequency, it is all yours. Cheers, everybody.